Man, Cloudflare. All my homies hate Cloudflare. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Thomas, and today I'm talking about every single item dropping from Supreme week 13 of fall winter 2025. Giving my takes on what I think will resell this week, potential sleeper items of the week, items you should avoid, and everything in between. So if you love to stay up to date on Supreme, Palace, and other related streetwear and sneaker content, be sure to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date every single time I post and go live. Of course, we going live this Thursday, November the 20th, 8 a.m. MST, 10 a.m. EST, 1 hour before the Supreme drop, folks. We're live every single week. You won't want to miss it. And with all that out of the way, let's get into it. All right, once again, I do not have prices this Tuesday morning, but I'm sure I will edit it in to the video once you're watching right now. But here is the full drop list for week 13. We got the True Religion collab. Be sure to check out my full video I did yesterday where I broke down the entire lookbook and all the product pictures from Supreme X True Religion in further detail. But as for today, we're going to supremecommunity.com, link as always in the description, to see how the community as a whole is feeling about this week.
And now a word from our sponsor.
Thank you to Supermade for sending me out a couple of items. Here I'm showcasing 5 items that they sent me and styling them in this video today. Supermade is a brand that takes inspiration from streetwear culture, rap culture, and brings it into a more affordable package. So if you guys are like me, you love Supreme, but sometimes you just want some staple pieces with cool styling influences that you just don't want to break the bank over. Supermade is great for that. Here are some of the pieces that I picked up from them. Wanted to add some new patterns to my wardrobe along with some button-up stuff, but I also kept it cool with the camouflage, showcasing here the real tree looking pants, nice baggy fit. I was really digging these and happy to have them. We also have this button-up plaid shirt and the woodland camo pants. Probably wouldn't rock these together, but on their own they make 2 distinct pieces that I dig, along with this viscose material. I love the sheen to it. Very lightweight, good for the summertime, looks good unbuttoned and buttoned up. And finally, the big kahuna is this cheetah print denim shirt. It is a lightweight denim, not a super heavyweight that you would get from a brand like Supreme. So just be conscious of that when you're ordering from Supermade. It's not going to be like your favorite designer brand or Supreme. And use code Thomas15 to save 15% off. And here's the drop list on Supreme Community. We're going to start from the bottom and make our way to the top with, first up, the textured cardigan. Textured knit wool blend, fabric made in Italy. I feel like this is getting kinda unfairly downvoted. I always say it, these are the grandpa spec items and they don't have any Supreme branding in the slightest, but that might be a really big dub for the cardigan fans and the people that like this type of material. Fabric wool made in Italy. I'm sure it's not going to be a bad cardigan. It's just up to you if you like the patterns, if you like the colorways, and how the Supreme cardigan fits on you. I've never copped one, not my type of item, but I could see one colorway selling out and definitely some resale down the road. People like these cardigans, man. Don't sleep on them. Next, we got the Supreme True Religion loose fit leather pants. Come on, guys. We're not feeling the leather pants with Supreme and True Religion branding. I guess. I mean, I wouldn't cop these, to be honest with you. They look far too loose fit for me. Supreme regular pants are loose fit enough. So when Supreme adds words like oversized and loose fit, that's my cue to size down. So if I was a 32, which I'm not, I'm like a 31, but I would absolutely get the smallest size of these jeans. I'd get a 30. I'd be careful on that loose fit style for these leather pants if it was me. The sweatpants are next, which I'm surprised to see these so far downvoted. They are pretty similar to the collection of items that came out for fall winter 22. Maybe I'll do a stream about that later today. But some of these items definitely repeat, and I totally forgot about that collection. It was when I first started making videos again, so I just wasn't really at the same level as I am now, which is fair enough. But these are pretty simple. They've got Supreme and True Religion branding. Some people don't like the logo. It says Sir Me, even though it's obviously Supreme underneath and the True Religion U on top. I get it. You can't see the full logo. And if you're not a big True Religion fan, then none of this stuff is really going to be for you, I guess. Next up, the leather jacket to complement the pants. Definitely a better item in terms of wearability, but I could see people not really loving this in terms of maybe it doesn't do too much. It's just contrast stitching. We've seen so many leather jackets this season. I personally don't own a single leather jacket. I'd like to. I own a pair of leather pants before a jacket. That's really funny. You never know how how things are going to go sometimes, I guess. But I definitely wouldn't be dropping hundreds and hundreds of dollars on my first leather jacket. One of these days, though, one of these days, we're gonna cop a Supreme shot leather jacket. Don't you guys worry, it's happening. Next up, the ear flap 5 panel. I'm kind of coming around to this hat. You know, it's definitely ugly. It does not look traditionally good, as people would say, but it is super funny. I love all this faux fur on the inside. This side pocket is hilarious. I think that's what it is. It's got 2 rivets at least in the contrast stitching. Someone on my Instagram commented, if anyone could pull this off, you could, referring to your boy. And I say, I probably could. I'd go with the pink one and just go whole hog craziness. But man, these look interesting, and something's up with the green screening that Supreme Community did, because these look really weird and not exactly the same as they look on the website. But fair enough, you guys get the gist. It's a goofy ass ear flap hat. We're gonna give it an upvote just for the memes. I would never wear it. Probably gonna be relatively expensive. All this stuff is relatively expensive. Patchwork cargo pants, man. I actually dig these. Do I think they're the best Supreme pant of all time? No. Are there better ones that have come out this season? For sure. But I think this pant does a really cool thing, which is maximize that stitching potential in terms of having that contrast stitching being the center theme of this item. You got all these patches. I called it Frankensteining them together. Bunch of slightly different colors. I think looks good. The pockets on the side are neat and still pretty trendy. I think black looks fairly good too. Honestly, I probably like these even more than the Yohji Yamamoto cargo pants that came out. Might be a hot take. I also love the tag. I think the True Religion tag is sick. I love their logo with the Buddha, and they added World Famous as well. That's pretty cool. You got the 2 U's for true. You got the elastic guys at the bottom of the legs to tighten up or cinch up the leg opening there. The camo colorway is pretty nice too. I like that we have the camo on the main layer, and then all the patches, or some of the patches at least, include non-camouflage colors to sort of break up the pattern there, which I think looks good. But it's absolutely not for everyone, and if you hate this stuff, that's fine. The mesh back 6 panel is next. I think this is one of the better items from the collab. It is going to be more affordable, very wearable. I love the fraying. I love the overstitching. Maybe the logo is Surmy, I suppose. I never saw that when I first looked at this stuff. I just kind of filled in the blank. I don't know. Maybe my frontal cortex is just better at pattern recognition than the average bear. I'm not too sure. I don't even know if that's where our pattern recognition is. I just assume it's right around here. Why? I don't know, guys, man. I just say shit on these videos, okay? I don't have a script, obviously. But that's besides the point. I do like these studs. Looking close up, they do have this ornate engraving. Looks to be a bouquet of flowers. I'm not quite sure, but it adds some character to it. What I really love is the back of this hat. It just looks good. This leather strap, it looks handmade in a way. It looks quality is what it really is. And the fact is that it's a trucker on the back, but the front doesn't look like a cheap plastic. It's obviously canvas. You got metal on the loop there. It's going to be a more expensive hat. This is a more bespoke strap, but for a Supreme True Religion hat, that's probably what you want. And I gotta give it to camo, man. This thing is sick, and I might even go for it this week. Still trying to figure out my cart, but I'm definitely copping, mostly to flip. Next up, my favorite item and would-be personal cop is the quilted lined plaid flannel shirt. I'm still on the fence about this, and if the price is right, your boy might keep it. Not in the brown and green colorway, even though this is my second favorite one. Love the 2 U's in the chest pocket there. Not on the lemonade colorway. Bit too bright, a little too preppy. Not feeling this one. Easily the worst colorway, the flannel. But the purple one, man. I just love the mix of colors. You have this gradient almost. It looks like it's an eye in this picture with the light colors here. You got darks there. I'm sure the wash will be different on different garments. Maybe it's relatively similar, but I feel like usually with this stuff, they have a bit of variation. My biggest hang up on this thing is how warm is that quilted lined material? If you guys have experience with garments like this, drop it in the comments and let me know. Because if you could wear this when it's 70 out, and that's 70 in Arizona, folks, not 70 in a more humid environment, then I might go for this, low key. And if it's under 200 bucks, if it's over 200, no way, Jose. Just not how I'm feeling on this guy. I would love like a 178, probably 188 would be the max I would pay for a personal, but we'll see how much it is. I'm sure you guys already know the price. Next up, the Supreme Boucle baseball jersey. I feel like this is the forgotten jersey of the season, but it does have that poly boucle with boucle applique and embroidered patch. Lots of accents here. It's a fine jersey. The problem is they've done the tonal thing again. If that was white, it would just be so much better. They could have inverted the colors, kept the gradient. They chose not to. I like this patch. 31-time world champion, 94 to 2025. Always a big fan of that stuff. Quality garments down below. Even the black colorway, it's a little bit more readable with the stroke of the Supreme Arch logo having that black outline. Still a bit hard to read against the pattern, but red is just dreadful. You can't see anything there. So I would say avoid this thing. It's voted fairly high up or somewhere in the middle. So maybe it's sleeper item of the week. I don't fucking know, guys. I don't think so though. No, this is absolutely not a sleeper item of the week. I would say skip this thing unless you really want it for personal. It's got a cool patch on the side. That's about it. Now this guy is feeling heavy sleeper item of the week. Plaid car coat, wool blend with 3M thin insulation, faux fur lining, and quilted taffeta sleeve lining. Button front closure with welt hand pockets at lower front and interior chest pockets. Embroidered logo on chest. Pin back button included. I've seen a fair few people talk about this piece and really wanting it. I think it looks super dope. It comes with the y'all suck pin, which is a new pin. I had to double check if they included that one on the leopard bags, but they did not. I think it looks pretty good. This thing looks warm as hell. Definitely a statement type of piece with this colorway. I would not recommend this one though. Looks a lot more wearable. Does have that big collar, so you gotta be confident with this guy. But in the right situation, I feel like this thing would absolutely go hard as hell. Gonna be on the more expensive end, but it's right there in the middle of the drop list, which earned itself the position of sleeper item of the week. Next up, the tinsel stripe beanie. Man, I don't know anything about beanies. Every time I say go for the beanies, they're gonna resell, they're gonna be hot. They end up not doing crazy. I feel like back a few years ago, this thing would have been that hidden resale item, and maybe it still is. If there's one of them that stands above the rest, it's got to be the one on the far right with this type of tinsel on it with the silver. I'm not really feeling this brown one. Black one might actually be the best though, low-key. I can never really tell when it's good to go for the colorful stuff, when it's good to go for the black stuff. You really just gotta buy with your own heart, guys. There's only so much I can tell you what to do, where you just have to make your own decisions. Do I think people are gonna buy this? If you do, and you wanna try to flip it, go for it. It's really not rocket appliances.
The fastest way to get money is to steal a bank machine. It doesn't take rocket appliances to realize all you gotta do is take a fucking chain, hook it up to a truck, and yank the fucking bank machine out of the store.
I think the better beanie this week, however, is the True Religion beanie. If you don't believe me, you can sue me. But the pink beanie, I think is super wearable. We're seeing a lot of good resale on pink items. The problem with this beanie is there are a bunch of different colorways, and certain ones will not be as sought after. Like I would say the yellow is the least sought after, followed probably by blue, navy, and then I would say camo and black are tied for second best, with pink being the best. But that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. It'll depend on resale price and quantity. If there's not a lot of stock and this sells out quick, all of it will resell. Just how it goes. Small box t-shirt is next. I would like to give this another candidate for sleeper item, but we get the small box long sleeve so often that it's just too much of a repeating item to do so. But as I always say, guys, and you know this, the bright neon and the real tree would be the ones to go for. Even though we've seen this type of highlighter yellow long sleeve top from Supreme before, it's been a little while, I feel, and real tree stuff just continues to be sought after. I'm guessing retail on this is still $68. If they raise it to 78, that's a rip in chat, but it is what it is with inflation and all that good stuff. Man, this boucle box logo is a lot higher up, and I suppose that makes sense. It is better than the baseball jersey with the box logo on there. And I think new eras are always going to get fairly upvoted. There's a certain type of Supreme fan who just basically collects hats. Maybe that's you watching this video right now. I know the new era fans are their own breed, doing their own thing, and people love a nice flat bill box logo. This time with the unique material, I'm not feeling it, but that's okay. 139 people were. I'm giving it a downvote. Sorry. All right, just outside of the top 5, the number 6 upvoted item is the Supreme True Religion puffer jacket. Now remember, this was the first item that was featured in the lookbook for Supreme True Religion. So I think at least in the black colorway, maybe the camo, this guy is gonna sell out and eventually resell for money. I haven't done any research on the 2 previous Supreme True Religion collabs, but that would be a good idea for us to get a better understanding of what these types of items are gonna go for and what we can expect resale to be. A lot has changed in 3-4 years. I believe the first 2 collabs did use True Religion sizing. So if you guys are asking about sizing, unfortunately, they do not release that until the drop happens. So you can go on supreme.com at 11 a.m. EST and try to find the sizing before adding an item to cart. Be super cautious of that and try to do your own research. Find out what these similar pieces were sized at the first time they came out in 21-22, and then look up True Religion sizing. See how it compares to Supreme. Now, my personal take on this puffer, I like this dirty indigo, man. It's got this like water meets oil vibe to it. Looks a bit like oxidized metal. I'm digging it. I wouldn't be wearing it with the hood all the time, certainly in those super cold months, but I think it's a pretty slick little design. The number 5 item is the Supreme True Religion applique polo. We're going full Chief Keef 2012 fit, folks. Lock in. Bang, bang. This thing's pretty dope. I'm probably gonna cop one of them. Not sure quite yet on the colorway, but I got a couple ideas. You can't really go wrong with black. Of course, you got the Buddha Man True 94. Very iconic triple design here. Reminds a lot of folks, myself included, of the polos that Chief Keef was wearing back in the day when he was coming up. I like the red one quite a bit, to be honest. Camo, not so much, but this is the more low-key spec, believe it or not, even though it's a loud pattern. You can't really see the appliques as much. They sort of are blending in with the black stitching. And you got the navy one as well. I think this one looks pretty dang good, but if these are reasonably priced, I could see these actually having some decent resale, probably selling out regardless in a few colorways. And the highest upvoted True Religion item this week is the zip-up hooded sweatshirt. Even though this is extremely similar to the one that came out in Fall Winter 22, people are digging this thing. And I think the pink one is basically guaranteed resale in pretty much all sizes. Pink has just been having that resurgence. I think the smaller sizes like small, medium are going to do fairly well. Even large XL are going to do solid. But I think if you're large XL, it might be better to go for a black, maybe a camouflage. Can't really see the Supreme logo at all with that black branding again on the camo, just kind of blending in. You can still see the True Religion U. And I do know this collab's not for everyone. Like, yes, you can buy True Religions at Ross. I bought some on Sunday without even knowing the collab was happening, which I thought was funny. But I don't think this collab is bad at all. It's all subjective. If you guys are not feeling it, don't go for it. It's as simple as that. There's plenty of items coming out for the rest of the season and even this week that aren't the collab, which is cool. 3 more items left, and one is a quilted zip-up hooded sweatshirt. Tackle to applique, brushback fleece, okay. I've been eyeing this sweatshirt for a little while now. It's not too bad. Of course, I love the green camo. Been thinking about getting a top to match with my pants for the full fit, but really this one hasn't been calling to me, and it's not the type of piece that I need in my wardrobe right now. It's just not. This is my quilted item that I have. It's fine. I don't wear it enough as it is with the Arizona weather. So maybe some other day we'll track this guy down. But I do like this logo. Tackle to applique looks sick. Very wearable item. My favorite colorways are obviously the green camo. Second place, I'm going with navy and red. Third place, ooh, I might have to give it to the gray with the black and yellow logo, followed shortly by black and then brown. We got 2 accessories dropping this week. The first is the Chibi Rib screwdriver keychain. So it's an aluminum alloy 7-piece screwdriver set with these dimensions here. I mean, this is for the people that be working them blue collar jobs, baby, them handymen, working 80-hour shifts at the long day factory, or if you just like having tools, which is anybody, doesn't have to be blue collar. I personally have plenty of other screwdriver sets laying around, and I don't need to use screwdrivers that frequently, if at all, when I'm on the go. But if you're the type of person that has a job where you use screwdrivers every day, or just a life that includes screwing things in and unscrewing things out, this might be for you. I do like the red metal with the Supreme logo. It's classy, timeless, and this thing does look pretty portable at being only 2 inches long. So relatively small. Make sure you know that. And last but not least is the Supreme Soul water bottle lantern. This thing's actually pretty cool. 24 ounce BPA free, good, no microplastics, shatter resistant bottle with printed logo. So it has a solar panel and LED light in the cap up top that convert the bottle into a lantern. You can also fully recharge with an integrated USB cord and obviously solar panel charging as well. Runtime up to 10 hours. Cool survival item. Now this is Supreme's second item with Soul. We did see that emergency blanket came out last week. I was not a fan of that at all. At least they gave us a big logo on the side and they made it red. Fair enough. This is how you do a collab. It's pretty much how Supreme water bottles always look. This time you got some electronic gizmos in there, so it's going to be more expensive for that. But if you're a camper, survivalist, or you just need a new water bottle and you want it to say Supreme, knock yourself out. I do think the functionality of this thing is pretty cool, and it might be worth it to keep it around in a bug out bag or something if you need a lantern, a light. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be a flashlight, but it'll be better than nothing if your phone is dead and you need some light and you're alone in the woods, 30 miles away from civilization. We've all been there. But that is everything dropping for Supreme week 13 of fall winter 25. What are you guys feeling about the week? In my opinion, if you're not vibing with the true religion stuff, this week's probably not for you. The regular preview items are pretty meh. We only have a few of them. That sleeper item of the plaid car coat, I still stand by that. I think that brownish black colorway with the stripes and the plaid pattern is pretty cool. We'll wait to see what the price on that is. In terms of true religion, I'm still digging that plaid flannel shirt for the wearability. I think the polo has some potential. Zip up hooded sweatshirt for sure in that pink colorway. And then I'm going with the beanies, right? The beanies, maybe the mesh back 6-panel. Everything else, dealer's choice. You guys buy what you like at the end of the day, and no one can tell you anything different. So make sure to be here for the live stream on Thursday. Again, I go live 1 hour before the drop. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.
Thank you.